Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama.
ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. Today is Srinidhi Prabhu was supposed to take class. Somehow he didn't travel. He got sick and he stayed back in Kolkata. So he didn't take his flight. That's why I'm sitting here by the order of devotees. We'll continue the discussion on the verse. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Yashodha Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodha Nandana Yashodha Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodha Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Madhava Kunja Vihari Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Canto 4, Chapter 25, Text number 28. त्वं ह्रीर्भवान्यस्यथवा ग्रमापतिम् विचिन्वति किं मुनिवद्रहो वने त्वदङ्घ्रिकामाप्तसमस्तकामम् क्व पद्मकोशपतितकराग्रात् त्वं ह्रीर्भवान्यस्यथवा ग्रमापतिम् विचिन्वति किं मुनिवद्रहो वने त्वदङ्घ्रिकामाप्तसमस्तकामम् क्व पद्मकोशपतितकराग्रात् त्वं ह्रीर्भवानस्यथवा ग्रमापतिम् विचिन्वति किं मुनिवद्रहो वने त्वदङ्घ्रिकामाप्तसमस्तकामम् क्व पद्मकोशपतितकराग्रात् विचिन्वति किं मुनिवद्रहो वने त्वदङ्घ्रिकामाप्तसमस्तकामम् क्व पद्मकोशपतितकराग्रात् क्व पद्मकोशपतितकराग्रात् त्वं you free shyness Bhavani the wife of Lord Shiva Asi or Atha rather Vak Saraswati the goddess of learning Rama the goddess of fortune Patim husband Vichinvati searching after thinking of Kim are you Munivat like a sage Raha in this lonely place Vane in the forest Vadangri your feet Kama desiring Apta achieved Samasta all Kamam desirable things Kva where is Padma Koshaha the lotus flower Patitaha fallen Kara of the hand Agrat from the front portion or palm. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shilurpad Shilprapad Ki. My dear beautiful girl, you are exactly like the goddess of fortune, or the wife of Lord Shiva, or the goddess of learning, the wife of Lord Brahma. Although you must be one of them, I see that you are loitering in this forest. Indeed, you are as silent as the great sages. Is it that you are searching after your own husband? Whoever your husband may be, simply by understanding that you are so faithful to him, he will come to possess all opulences. I think you must be goddess of fortune, but I do not see the lotus flower in your hand. Therefore, I am asking you where you have thrown that lotus. Purport. Everyone thinks that his intelligence is perfect. Sometimes one employs his intelligence in the worship of Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva, in order to obtain a beautiful wife. Sometimes when he wants to become as learned as Brahma, Lord Brahma, he employs his intelligence in the worship of the goddess of learning, Saraswati. Sometimes when he wishes to become as opulent as Lord Vishnu, he worships the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. In this verse, all these inquiries are made by King Puranjana, the living entity who is bewildered and does not know how to employ his intelligence. Intelligence should be employed in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as one uses his intelligence in this way, the goddess of fortune automatically becomes favorable to him. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, never remains without her husband, Lord Vishnu. Consequently, when one worships Lord Vishnu, he automatically obtains the favor of the goddess of fortune. One should not, like Ravana, worship the goddess of fortune alone, for she cannot remain long without her husband. Thus, her other name is Chanchala or restless. In this verse, it is clear that Puranjana is representing our intelligence while he is talking with the girl. He not only appreciated the shyness of the girl, but actually became more and more attracted by that shyness. He was actually thinking of becoming her husband and consequently was asking her whether she was thinking of her prospective husband or whether she was married. This is an example of bhoga ichha, the desire for enjoyment. One who is attracted by such desires becomes conditioned in this material world, and one who is not so attracted attains liberation. King Puranjana was appreciating the beauty of the girl as if she were the goddess of fortune. But at the same time, he was careful to understand that the goddess of fortune cannot be enjoyed by anyone except Lord Vishnu. Since he doubted whether the girl was the goddess of fortune, he inquired about the lotus flower she was not holding. The material world is also the goddess of fortune because the material energy works under the direction of Lord Vishnu. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakritihi Suvete Sacharacharam. The material world cannot be enjoyed by any living entity. If one so desires to enjoy it, he immediately becomes a demon like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, or Kamsa. Because Ravana wanted to enjoy the goddess of fortune, Sita Devi, he was vanquished with all his family, wealth, and opulence. One can, however, enjoy that Maya, however, enjoy that Maya bestowed upon the living entity by Lord Vishnu. The satisfaction of one's senses and desires means enjoying Maya, not the goddess of fortune. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mugam Kurdevacharam Tungam Langate Girmitravad Mahamandi Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramanma Hare Krishna. So we are continuing the topic. So Srinath Prabhu could not make it, so that's why I was requested to continue this topic. So, so yesterday we discussed about how the prana, the intelligence, and the mind, so they assist the jiva in this material world. And the intelligence is specifically protected by mind and the senses, mind and the 11 senses. Yesterday somebody was asking the question why prana represents a snake. In the later purport, I was just reading, Prabhupada says that prana remains awake even when you are sleeping. When you are sleeping, still the prana is working, right? The heart is beating, all the organs of the body are functioning, the brain is functioning. So all this is happening because of prana shakti only. Because if prana leaves, if prana dies or leaves the body, then all the limbs of the body they become dysfunctional. So, and it is said that snakes can also live by air, by breathing air. Prabhupada writes that snakes can eat air and survive for some time. So that's a prana is also compared to a snake. And it not only protects while being awake, but also when you are asleep, prana is protecting our body. So that's how Prabhupada says that snake represents prana, python, without eating. Or Aniruddha Sivapura is telling that python can sleep for 6 months without eating. It can just coil in one tree and then survive like that. So there's a reason why snake represents prana. In today's verse, Puranjan has become even more curious and wanting to know who is this lady. So he is asking, are you Bhavani? Are you Vak, Saraswati? Or are you Lakshmi? Right? Because you look so attractive and beautiful, especially because of your shyness. Re means shyness. So actually shyness is a very good quality for women. Srila Prabhupada says in another purport, in the first canto of Bhagavatam, he says that how the beauty of the woman is enhanced by her shyness. Right? She becomes more attractive. Prabhupada says that in one home he went, and then there was one servant maid, and whenever men were there in the room, she will never come into the room. She'll be inside only, and that is shyness. She'll not expose herself to other men. Only with the husband and family members, she'll be uh, together and free. But any other man comes, she'll be very shy. And that shyness automatically brings the feelings of respect in the heart of a man. Whenever a man sees a woman who is shy, immediately his respect for her increases. Right? So, shyness and chastity are two great qualities of a woman. And for man, it is sense control and brahmacharya. That has to be practiced by man. That makes him powerful and attractive. So here she was shy. Another aspect of shyness, she didn't show her face. She had covered her face fully. And then, like some Rajasthani ladies, they cover like transparent, not transparent, semi-transparent sari they have, which covers the face. They can see what is happening outside, but others cannot see the face. That is shyness. So they cover themselves. So seeing her shyness, he became even more attracted, and then he came closer and then proposed to her. And he had a desire to marry. So that's why he's asking her, "Are you looking for a proper match? Right? Vichinvati kim patim vichinvati? Are you searching for a proper husband? Right? But you look like a Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva. You look like Vak, wife of Brahma. And you appear to be like Lakshmi, Rama, wife of Lord Vishnu. Right? So these three personalities, ladies, are very chaste and pure. So he is comparing this lady, with those uh, great personalities. And Prabhupada says that those who are less intelligent, they worship these three personalities for material benefits. Those who want to get a very good husband, they worship Bhavani. Jai Shri Shri Lakshmi Singh Dev ki Jai, Shri Gaurahari ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So that is misuse of intelligence to beg for something material from any personality. To beg something material is misuse of intelligence. And somebody wants to become as learned as Brahmaji and he worships Saraswati. And somebody wants to become rich like Vaikuntapati, Lord Vishnu, so he worships Lakshmi Devi. They don't want Vishnu, but they want Lakshmi. So Prabhupada says this is misuse of intelligence. Ravana mentality. What Ravana wanted? Ravana wanted Sita Devi, but not Lord Ram. So he kidnapped Sita and he tried to force Sita. Means he gave 1 year time. So that is Ravana mentality. They want to enjoy Lakshmi without Lord Ram. They want to separate Lakshmi from Lord Ram. But devotees, they want to unite Sita and Ram. Like Hanuman. He put all his endeavor to unite Sita and Ram, engage Lakshmi in service of Lord Ram. But the Ravana mentality people, they want to separate Sita, Lakshmi from Lord Ram. Right? So people have wealth. That wealth represents Lakshmi. And if it is not used in Krishna's service, that is called as Chanchala. That Lakshmi is Chanchala. Chanchala means what? Unsteady. Always moving. Unsteady. Like some people cannot sit at one place for a long time. They keep doing something. Like a monkey. Chanchala. Mind is also chanchala. It cannot be steady on one thought. It keeps jumping from one thought to another. So Lakshmi is also called chanchala. She will not stay in home for a long time. So she keeps moving from one place to another. So materialistic people, although they try to earn a lot of wealth, still they cannot maintain that wealth because Lakshmi Devi is not happy there, she will move to another place. But only when a person worships Lord Narayana, the Lakshmi which this Prabhupada recommends worshipping Lakshmi and Narayana together. One should not separate them and worship them separately. Like in India, sometimes they do Lakshmi Puja. Only Lakshmi Puja they will do. They will not do Lakshmi Narayana Puja. So that kind of puja is not recommended in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. What is recommended? Lakshmi Narayana worship, Radha Krishna worship, Sita Ram worship. That is recommended. But those who worship only, even pious people, those who try to worship only Lakshmi, they are like Ravana mentality. Prabhupada condemns that kind of worship. In this verse, it is clear that Puranjana is representing our intelligence while he is talking to the girl. He not only appreciated the shyness of the girl, but actually became more and more attracted by that shyness. He was actually thinking of becoming her husband and consequently was asking her whether she was thinking of her prospective husband or whether she was married. This is called bhoga ichcha, desire for enjoyment. So of course, a lot of things can be discussed about this point. See, marriage is a sacred ritual where man and woman come together, keeping Krishna in the center. They can assist each other to progress in Krishna consciousness. But if marriage becomes a institution for sense enjoyment, then that degrades a person. The Prabhupada says that marriage is not a institution for sense enjoyment, but it is meant for purification. And those who follow the principles of married life properly, they can advance in Krishna consciousness. So that the rules are given. It's possible. But in Kali Yuga, mostly marriages happen because of sense enjoyment. In 12th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a verse which says, Dampatye Ratim Evahi. Dampatye Ratim Evahi. Rati means sex life. So in Kali Yuga, people get married only to enjoy sex life. And when they cannot get satisfaction in sex life, separate. You see so many cases in USA especially, they keep separating. Sometimes they have a 10th marriage or 15th marriage also. Because the purpose of them getting married is not sacred. There's nothing holy about it. The only desire is sense enjoyment. Bhoga ichcha. And if that is a desire, then the marriage will not survive. They'll get separated. But in Vedic custom, marriage is meant for advancing in Krishna consciousness. It's an ashrama. It gives ashraya to people who need that license for sense enjoyment in a regulated way. And by following that sense gratification in a regulated way, purifying their desires, they can completely become pure by the end of their life. So that's why that is recommended. This is bhoga ichcha. One who is attracted by such desires becomes conditioned in this material world, and one who is not so attracted attains liberation. His attraction for material life is cause of bondage, and if one becomes disinterested in the material life, then that is the cause of liberation. Okay. If one properly follows the rules and regulations of the family life also, you will see eventually that virakti will develop in the heart. Right? And when that virakti develops, they become detached from everything. And then they focus fully on Krishna consciousness. Like yesterday we were discussing. That stage is called as Vanaprastha life, where one has seen the entire world, had seen all kinds of enjoyment, and ultimately comes to conclusion, sense enjoyment is like chewing a bamboo. There is no rasa in that. But Krishna consciousness is like chewing sugar, sugar cane. There's a lot of rasa in that. So he gives up jada enjoyment and he takes up Krishna consciousness, bhakti rasa. Right? There's mundane rasa and there is bhakti rasa. So he gives up mundane rasa and takes up bhakti rasa, which is Krishna consciousness. So King Puranjana was appreciating the beauty of the girl as if she were goddess of fortune. He was appreciating as if goddess of fortune, but he was very careful also. But goddess of fortune cannot be enjoyed by anybody else. So a little careful. Immediately he said, "But where is? I don't see lotus in your hand. Where is that lotus? Where have you thrown it?" It means you are not goddess of fortune. You are as beautiful as goddess of fortune, but you are not goddess of fortune. So then Prabhupada says, Mother Earth is also goddess of fortune. Lord Krishna has two wives. Or Lord Vishnu has two wives. Sri Devi, Bhudevi. Sri Devi is Lakshmi Devi, Bhudevi is Mother Earth. And Prabhupada makes another banging statement. He says, somebody tries to enjoy material world, that is also sinful because it is not our property. It is Krishna's property. So the material world also should be engaged in Krishna's service, not for our service. Somebody who enjoys this material world, he is called as a thief. Because it's not our property and we are enjoying this. Yo bhunkte sthena evasa. What is that verse? Full verse? Yo bhunkte sthena evasa. Those who tair datta apradayebhyo yo bhunkte sthena evasa. For chapter Gita, it says that those who enjoy the facilities given by God without saying thank you to God, they are thieves. Thena, thief, he says. So those who enjoy this material world without acknowledging that it is Krishna's property, they are called thieves. Ishavasya sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagatena tiktena bhunjita magrada kasya svidhanam. Okay. So this world is Ishavasya, it is the property of Krishna. Everything in this world is property of Krishna. Yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tiktena bhunjita. So in this world, everything is Lord's property, but you are allowed to take certain quantity, your quota of what you need. Okay, not what I want, what you need. That much we can take. There's a difference between need and want, right? We need food 3 times a day, but we don't need a godown full of grains. If somebody thinks I want a full godown full of grains, that's a want, because he cannot eat that much. So there's a difference between greed and want. We need a home. Yes, we need a comfortable home. But if he thinks I need a palace, that's a want. Right? So in this world, we can take whatever we need. Tena tiktena bhunjita. Magrada kasya svidhanam. But don't enjoy more than what you need, what you need for your survival. Right? So those who take more than that, they are called as thieves. So that's the definition. So pure devotees, when they look at this world, they look at this world as wife of Lord Krishna. And they think, how can I enjoy this? This is meant to be engaged in whatever in this is in this material should be engaged in Krishna's service. Not only they engage everything in Krishna's service, whatever they have in Krishna's service, they also want others also to engage whatever they have in Krishna's service. Now let's see how things can be engaged in Krishna's service. Now, for example, earth, water, fire, all these are elements of nature. It's Prakriti. Now this Prakriti, now if you mix water, if you mix, take the mud, mix water, put it in fire. You make a shape and put it in fire. What becomes? It becomes a brick. And you can use that brick to build a temple for Lord Krishna. Isn't it? So this is the glorious application, the best application of Mother Earth in service of the Lord. It is making a temple for Krishna. Right? So I was reading third canto where it is mentioned. What is the property of earth? The property of earth is earth element. The property is that it can be used to make a bhavanam, a home. Bhagavatasya sthanam, it says. It can be used to make a place for the Lord by making a temple. And another utility is the earth can be used to make a deity of the Lord. Like stone. Stone can be used to carve a deity of the Lord and then worship the deity of the Lord. And the bricks can be used to construct a place or a home for the Lord, and by which people can come there and see the Lord and get access to the Lord. That's the best way one can use Mother, means earth element, in service of the Lord. If we are building a temple here, we are using it from building it from earth. There are bricks, there is cement, there is stone, right? There is metal. All these are coming from the earth only. Now, Lord will be very happy by this kind of service. Even Mother Earth also will be very happy. Yeah, you're using me for service of the Lord. I'm so happy. Everything comes from Mother Earth only. So, but if we use the earth elements, people use earth elements to build a factory or a slaughterhouse or big malls where a lot of sense gratification is happening. Mother Earth will think, "Arey, I'm not supposed to be used in this way. And she'll not be happy, isn't it? So that's not the right utility. So the proper utility is engaging in service of the Lord. And another thing which is happening is nowadays people are digging earth and doing a lot of ugra karma. And they're going 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers deep into the earth, taking petroleum, taking all the, what is it called, minerals, ores and coal and the big holes, craters, and even the stones. So all these things, a lot of exploitation of is happening. So when such kind of exploitation is happening, Mother Earth feels pain, and as a consequence, there will be natural calamities. There will be earthquakes. So there will be droughts. So there will be scarcity of food. There will be tsunamis. All these things will happen because one is exploiting Mother Earth. So I was attending a conference, it's online. There is a video available. Green pilgrimage. Recently in GEV, there was a conference. So many great spiritual leaders had come from across India. Param Puja Radhanath Maharaj, Param Puja Goswamiji of Radharaman Temple, one famous Panda of Jagannath Puri Temple, and other environmentalists. They had all come, and the discussion was how to have a green pilgrimage, how to keep the holy places holy, maintaining their original look and feel, uh, and also reviving the holy rivers, holy ponds. That was the discussion. So, and that it was being discussed that how everything is coming from Krishna, and everything has to be used in service of Krishna only. Everything comes from God and should be used in service of the Lord. God has given us pure water, but we are contaminating it by putting industrial waste and garbage. God has given us pure earth, and we are throwing plastic and polluting it. Right? And God has given us pure air, and we are excessively using the vehicles and polluting it. So in this way, God has given us everything, but we are destroying it. So the whole point of discussion there was that how we can uh, create the consciousness that Earth is a person living, and Earth, Mother Earth, is goddess of fortune, and she should be used in Krishna's service. So the material world cannot be enjoyed by any living entity. If he does so, if if one so desires to enjoy it, he immediately becomes a demon, like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, or Kamsa. Ravana wanted to control nature, and he also wanted to defy the laws of nature. And he wanted to make a bridge or a staircase from earth to heaven, so he can walk and go. No need of your karmic qualification. Just walk and go to heaven. That he wanted to do, but he was not successful. And then Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to also defy the laws of nature. He wanted to full control of all the departments, air department, water department, fruit department, everything he wanted to control. Even sun he was controlling. If sun was too scorching, he'll look at the sun and lift his eyebrows. Immediately sun will become mild. That much control he wanted. He had actually, he got it only for some time. So later when he started offending Vaishnavas, he was killed. Till that time Lord was tolerating. But when he offended Prahlad Maharaj, he was killed. Similarly, Lord will tolerate to some extent, but when Vaishnavas start getting disturbed, then he will not tolerate. He'll bring about a destruction. Right? Now one may think, okay, so many sinful activities are happening around the world, but still we are getting our food, people are getting their air and water. How is it so? And the explanation is there are few pure Vaishnavas on this planet who are desiring to serve Krishna. So Krishna is providing for them, and other people also are getting some benefit out of it. Mainly Krishna is providing for his devotees, Vaishnavas, who can utilize the nature for service, right? But others are also getting benefit because of those few pure Vaishnavas. But as Kali Yuga progresses, the world will become so cruel that hardly any Vaishnavas will be there. Even if they are there, they'll be in some corner of this world, sitting here and there. So when there are no Vaishnavas, earth will become like hell. Earlier there'll be so much of violence, exploitation, sinful activities. Right? You see the descriptions of Kali Yuga in 12th canto. So you have not read 12th canto description of Kali Yuga? It's so pathetic it is. Huh? Right? It is said that there will be Durbhiksha. Bhiksha means food. Durbhiksha. There will be no food. There will be no rice. Karapidita. There will be so much taxation that people will get fed up and they will run to the, they leave the cities and go out of the radar of the government, go in this, stay in the forest, right? Now also people are feeling the burden of tax. They try to somehow the other avoid tax by doing many other schemes. Accountants know well. Durbhiksha, Karapidita, and there will be no rain, Anavrishtihi. So for hundreds of years there will be no rain, Prabhu says. And because there will be no rain, there will be no grains. People will die. And there will be, uh, because there is no food, people will eat each other. The society will become cannibalistic. They will eat each other. That is the description future, Kali Yuga. And then the definition of success will be one who can, definition of intelligence, one who's intelligent, one who can use word jugglery and speak eloquently, or whatever eloquence, but who can use complex words and speak something which people cannot understand. He is considered intelligent. Huh? So And who is a Brahmana? जिसके शरीर में धागा है, he is considered Brahmana. विप्रत्वे सूत्रमेव ही. Who is Vipra? One is just wearing some dhaga. Lavanyam, Kesha Dharanam. And those who have long hair, they'll be considered beautiful. So these are the wrong definitions of. And what is Tirtha Yatra? In Kali Yuga, what is Tirtha Yatra? Very interesting. Huh? Tirtha Yatra, going to a body, going to a place where there is water body. Going to a place where there is water body, take bath and come. That's called Tirtha Yatra in Kali Yuga. When like people go to a dam, in Pune there is one dam, Khadakwasla Dam. It's like Tirtha Sthala only. So many people on weekends go. In Karnataka also there are some waterfalls and dams. People go there. That's called Tirtha Yatra. They don't go to holy temples, right, where holy people stay. No, they go to these places. So that's called Tirtha Yatra. And what is purity or cleanliness in Kali Yuga? Taking bath once is considered to be cleanliness. It is a low standard of cleanliness. Only taking bath. Right? After taking bath, you should chant mantras, you should apply tilak, you should meditate on the Lord. Then you're considered to be clean. You're not just taking bath. Taking bath is external clean. But internal cleanliness also has to be done. Na? Some people don't even do that, external cleanliness. They take bath once in a week. Right? Mostly they're using perfumes. And then go to office or college. Right? Some students attend our new program. We are going for it. Program and they said, they came in the morning. They said, so early you came. We just got up and came. Yeah. Because the hostel culture is they don't take bath in the morning. They take bath in the evening, it seems. Nobody takes bath in the morning. In evening they take bath. That has become the norm. It's considered to be normal nowadays. But for devotees, it is like, how can you come without taking bath? You take bath now. Morning taking bath, afternoon taking bath, evening taking bath. 3 times we take bath. Not just once. Minimum 2. Prabhupada says 2. Minimum 2. Prabhupada says. For sannyasis, 3. That is kind of cleanliness. Because when you keep your body externally clean, our mind also becomes clean. We come to Sattva more and more Sattva. When cold water touches your body, you become immediately fresh. You come to Sattvic. Right? So that's why taking bath is recommended. So as Kali Yuga progresses, things will get more and more degraded. So we are still in the beginning of Kali Yuga. There will be a lot of exploitation and people will become like Ravana, Kamsa and Hiranyakashipu. Only exploiting earth. There will be no devotees. 1 or 2 maybe there, they'll be in the caves, in far jungles. That's all. Because Ravana wanted to enjoy goddess of fortune, Sita Devi, he was vanquished with all his family, wealth and opulences. Ravana died, his brothers died, except Vibhishan. His whole kingdom was destroyed because he tried to exploit Sita. And those who are exploiting Mother Earth, same will be the case. Their family, themselves, and all fortune will be destroyed. One can, however, enjoy that Maya bestowed upon the living entity by Lord Vishnu. The satisfaction of one's senses and desires means enjoying Maya, not the goddess of fortune. Means whatever God gives us for our needs, that much we can enjoy. But one should not be greedy for enjoying more. So this is the point which you can learn from here. So Puranjana is wanting to enjoy material life, and to enjoy material life, he needs material intelligence. So that's why he is proposing to her, and eventually he will get married to her. And material intelligence also speaks to Puranjan, saying that who can get a husband better than you? So, and me and my 11 servants, and these 11 servants have hundreds of wives, means the desires, We all will engage in your service. In that way, she gets married to Puranjan, and they're still at the outskirts of the city. They're not yet entered the city of nine gates. They're at the garden outside the city. And after they've got came to agreement, they get married. Then they enter the city of these nine gates and they reside in this body. The soul, assisted by material intelligence, enjoys material desires for a long period of time, produces and he produces thousands of children. It is described. He produces thousands of children, takes care of them, shows affection to them, and if this life is progressing without knowing that ultimately death is going to come. So when death comes, he feels great pain because he has to separate from his children, wife, and everybody. Right? And while dying, when he was dying, he was constantly thinking about his wife. Puranjana was thinking about his wife. So that's why he in the next life was born as she. And her name was Vaidharvi. Vaidharvi. So he becomes she. And fortunately, she got a very good husband whose name was Malayadhwaja. He was a great devotee. And because of the association of great devotee Malayadhwaja, Puranjani in the next life, Vaidharvi, so she got a chance to advance in Krishna consciousness by serving husband. Right? In this life, he is getting served by wife, but in the next life, she serves husband Malayadhwaja, and by his blessings, he attains God realization. Actually, he gets the darshan of Lord Vishnu, who comes in the form of a Brahmana and gives all perfection to Vaidharvi, and she goes back to Godhead. So that's how the story continues. So I end here. So today, basically we discussed about the nature of the qualities of woman, especially shyness is uh, a wonderful ornament of a woman. But nowadays, Kali Yuga people, modern girls especially, they're losing their shyness, and because of that, they don't attract that respect from the opposite sex. But if they maintain their nature of shyness, they'll be more respectable in the society. That point we discussed. Then we also discussed about how people worship different goddesses for material enjoyment, but a devotee worships Krishna and Lakshmi Devi, Vishnu, Lakshmi, and Radha Krishna together. Those who worship only Lakshmi, they're like Ramanas. And at the end, we also discussed how Mother Earth is also Lakshmi. She should not be exploited, but she should be engaged in service of God, like making vigrahas, making temples, and using everything in his service. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. As the question here, Puranjan is living already. Who is this lady? Yeah, MS Rani Mata is asking. This lady is intelligence. Yesterday we discussed about this. This lady represents material intelligence, and she had 11 bodyguards, which is who are the mind and 10 senses, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Gyanendriyas, and the snake represents Prana Shakti. Yeah. I can't hear the Zoom people speaking. Devotees can put the questions in the chat because the wire to the mic is not connected here. I can't hear you speaking. Yeah, I think you can speak now. Yeah.
Recently, what is lines are unmuted and they can unmute and ask any questions.
Yes, Prabhu. Yesterday it's been told it is. That is what I was little confused because yesterday it was told it is intelligence. Then a detailed description of a lady is given, so I thought maybe a particular person you are referring to.
No. Intelligence only. She is intelligence.
Thank
Material
you.
intelligence which the jiva needs to survive in this world.
And yesterday you were telling about 10 types of that prana vayu, no, Prabhu. Can you just tell us quickly in short? Prana, apana.
Yes. Prabhupada writes in purport. I remember the 5, but the last 5, yeah, here. You refer to the purport 7.15.42. 7:15:42. If you allow me to share screen, I can show it.
You can share, Prabhu.
7:15:42. If the host allows me to share the screen, yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, you already have rights, so you can share, Prabhuji.
There's another laptop called Suvarna Gaurahari Das. From that laptop, I'm. So
Yes,
there is
Prabhuji. Now,
prana, apana, samana, vyana, udana, naga, kurma, karkara, devadatta, and dhananjaya. So these are the 10 vayus.
now you should be able to share, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so this is the 10 prana vayus. Want to know more details? Details are given. The main air passing through the nose in breathing is called prana. This is 369. 3.6.9. The air which passes through the rectum as evacuated bodily air is called apana. For example, air passes through down. That's called apana vayu. The air which adjusts the foodstuffs within the stomach and which sometimes sounds as belching is called samana. The air which passes through the throat and the stoppage of which constitutes suffocation is called udana. Right? Air in the throat is called udana. Air in the nose is called prana. Air below is called apana. Right? So prana, apana, samana, udana. And the total air which circulates throughout the entire body is called vyana. Subtler than these 5 airs, there are others also which facilitates opening of the eyes and mouth, etc. is called naga. Like you open the mouth, you have to yawn, you have to close your eyelids. That is naga. The air which increases hunger, appetite is called karkara. The air which helps contraction of muscles, no, the kurma. The air which helps relaxation by opening the mouth wide. So yawning ke liye alag hai, that is devadatta. Devadatta is air for which was yawning. The air which helps sustenance is called dhananjaya. Okay. So Prabhupada further writes more about the pranas. So this 3.6.9. You can get more details here.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. I heard that prana, Atma is floating in the prana. Floating in the prana. And that equilibrium is in the region of the heart. So the soul is residing here. Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Okay. But what the yogis do by practice of yoga, they lift the prana to the energy center above through the chakras. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agnya chakras, Sahasra chakras. They lift the soul also, along the prana to different, and from there they quit to the particular destination. The soul is floating in the prana shaktis. So by doing pranayama and Ashtanga yoga, they lift the soul and they travel to a different destination by the yogic or yogis. Metal energy. The soul now is in a male body, human body, and next life he becomes a woman body. He gets a body of a woman. Vaidharvi. That's how the story is explained. Right? Because he was attached to sense enjoyment, he became a woman in the next life. Hmm. The soul's original desire is to enjoy separately from Krishna. Okay, so original desire of soul is okay. I want to enjoy separately from Krishna. He comes to this material world, and here he contacts modes of material nature: Satguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. He gets his mind, intelligence. And through that, when he starts interacting with the world, that one desire multiplies into thousands and thousands and thousands. Okay, huh? Blockchain, technical terms. Like he wants to see this, he wants to touch that, he wants to feel this, he wants to hear that. Like these thousands and thousands of multiplications happen. Right? The original, only one desire soul had. I want to enjoy separately. He comes here. Huh? Yeah, many ways. I want to taste rasgulla. Tomorrow I want to eat some chat masala. I want to eat this and that. So each sense has got hundreds of desires. Like some people keep watching movie after movie after movie. They want to watch. They're never satisfied, and desires keep increasing only. More they enjoy, more desires multiply. There's no end. It's like putting ghee into fire. It starts increasing only. That's how the desires increase and multiply. But when one realizes, sorry, this is a burden. It's so much anxiety. Then he starts cutting down the desires. And Hare Krishna. Then he does only one desire, which is to serve Krishna. Ekeha Kurunandana. Boshaka hi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayena. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Those who are Vyavasayatmika, devotees, only one desire they have, which is serving Krishna. But avyavasayinam buddhi bhushakaha. There are people who are non-devotees, they have unlimited desires. Okay, Hare Krishna. Is there analogy for false ego in this? I need to check, bro. Intelligence and others are mentioned. Maybe I can check and get back to you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, it's time up. We'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Devotees, could we get the darshan of Sri Lakshmi Narasimhadev and Sri Prabhupada? Thank you, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, now ending the meeting. Thanks for your active participation. Hare Krishna. Dhanavas to